Have you ever caught yourself hesitating before stepping off a curb or climbing the stairs? Just a little pause, wondering if your balance will hold or if your knees will give out? Maybe you've noticed your posture changing, or you feel a little more fragile than you used to. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And the good news? You don't have to accept it as just part of getting older. Our bones might not get much attention until something goes wrong, a fall, a fracture, or a scare at the doctor's office. But the truth is, our bones are living tissue. And just like muscles, they can be nourished, strengthened, and protected at any age. That's exactly what we're talking about today. Because after 60, your bones need more care, not less. And one of the most powerful ways to take care of them? It's not a fancy pill. It's not a complicated workout. It's something you already do every day: eat. But here's the key. What you eat can either build you up or slowly wear you down. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 incredible foods that naturally support stronger, healthier bones as you age. These aren't strange superfoods from faraway places. They're simple, everyday foods you can easily enjoy, foods that quietly do the hard work of protecting your strength, balance, and independence. Let's start with one that might already be in your fridge, or at least should be. You've probably heard for years that dairy is good for your bones. But what really makes a difference is the right kind of dairy. And that brings us to our first bone-loving food: plain Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt isn't just a source of calcium, although that alone would make it a great choice. What makes it truly powerful is that it combines high calcium, protein, and probiotics in one simple, spoonable package. Calcium is the mineral most associated with bone health. It's the raw material your body uses to build and maintain bone density. But here's what many people forget. Calcium doesn't work alone. It needs a delivery system. And protein plays a key role in helping your body absorb calcium and put it where it belongs, inside your bones. That's where Greek yogurt shines. 1 cup gives you nearly 20 grams of protein and over 200 milligrams of calcium. Plus, the probiotics in yogurt support gut health, and your gut is the gateway to nutrient absorption. A healthy gut means your body can actually use the nutrients you feed it. And because Greek yogurt is lower in sugar than regular flavored yogurts, you don't have to worry about that sneaky sugar weakening your bones, which, believe it or not, it can. Try having a serving of plain Greek yogurt with fresh berries and a sprinkle of chia seeds for breakfast, or as a snack in the afternoon. It's easy, it's delicious, and it's doing far more for your bones than any sugary cereal or processed granola bar ever could. Now, let's shift gears to something a little greener, or sometimes even orange, or red, because the next food your bones are begging for. Leafy greens, especially the darker, richer ones like kale, collard greens, and bok choy. You might not think of vegetables when you think of strong bones. But that's a mistake we want to fix today. These leafy greens are packed with calcium, but they also bring something just as important: vitamin K. This vitamin doesn't get as much attention as calcium or vitamin D, but it plays a crucial behind-the-scenes role in keeping your bones strong. Vitamin K helps regulate where calcium goes in your body. Think of it like a traffic cop, directing calcium into your bones and away from places it shouldn't be, like your arteries. Without enough vitamin K, you might be taking in plenty of calcium, but it could end up in all the wrong places. Kale in particular is a standout. 1 cup of cooked kale contains nearly 180 micrograms of vitamin K, which is more than 100% of your daily recommended intake. And it gives you a decent amount of calcium too, without the added calories or cholesterol that can come from some dairy sources. Collard greens are another fantastic option. They're rich in both calcium and magnesium, another mineral your bones need to stay flexible and resilient. Magnesium helps with the structural development of bone and supports the action of vitamin D, which helps absorb calcium. These nutrients work together like a team, and greens give you the full package. If you're not used to cooking with greens, don't worry. They're easier than you think. Try sauteing chopped kale or collards with a little olive oil and garlic. Or steam bok choy and toss it with sesame oil for an easy, bone-loving side dish. Your bones and your taste buds will thank you. Now, before we go on, I want to pause for a second and ask you something. When was the last time you thought about seeds as part of your diet? Not nuts, though we'll talk about those soon, but tiny seeds, like sesame seeds. These little guys are one of the most underrated bone builders out there. Sesame seeds are surprisingly rich in calcium. Just 1 tablespoon of whole sesame seeds contains about 90 milligrams. That's more than a third of the calcium in a glass of milk. And they come with other bone-supporting nutrients too, like phosphorus, magnesium, and even zinc. You can sprinkle sesame seeds on salads, stir them into oatmeal, or even blend tahini, a paste made from ground sesame seeds, into smoothies or dressings. What makes sesame seeds really special, though, is how easy they are to add to meals. You don't need to overhaul your diet. Just sprinkle a spoonful here and there, and you're giving your bones a little extra backup every day. And here's something most people don't realize: variety matters. Your bones don't just want calcium. They need a mix of minerals and vitamins that all work together like a symphony. When you get your nutrients from different foods, you support your body in more complete, natural ways. So far, we've talked about creamy Greek yogurt, powerful leafy greens, and the magic hidden in sesame seeds. These aren't trends or fads. They're time-tested, science-backed foods that quietly strengthen your body with every bite. But we're just getting started. Now, if you've ever stood in the kitchen, holding a glass of milk and wondering if it's really doing your bones any good, you're not alone. While calcium is essential, it's not the whole story. And truth be told, there are other foods that work behind the scenes, supporting your bones in ways milk simply can't. Let's take a moment to talk about something small but mighty: nuts and seeds, especially almonds, chia seeds, and sesame seeds. These tiny foods might not look like much, but they're packed with magnesium, phosphorus, and even a little bit of calcium, all crucial minerals that help keep your bones dense and strong. Magnesium, in particular, plays a quiet but powerful role in converting vitamin D into its active form, and without enough magnesium, your body can't use calcium effectively, no matter how much you're taking in. Just a handful of almonds in the afternoon or a sprinkle of chia seeds in your morning yogurt can make a real difference. One of the most beautiful things about nuts and seeds is how easy they are to work into your daily meals. Toast a slice of whole grain bread and smear on some almond butter. Toss a spoonful of sesame seeds into your stir fry or salad. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it shouldn't be. In fact, keeping it simple is what makes the habit stick. But speaking of simplicity, have you ever sat down to a plate of steamed spinach and thought, "This has to be good for me," only to later wonder if it really makes a difference? Well, dark leafy greens are one of nature's best-kept secrets for bone health. I'm talking about kale, bok choy, mustard greens, and yes, even collards. They're all rich in vitamin K, an unsung hero when it comes to bone metabolism. Vitamin K helps your body produce osteocalcin, a protein that binds calcium to your bones. Without enough vitamin K, your bones might not be getting the full benefit of the calcium you're consuming. And here's the kicker: vitamin K also helps prevent calcium from building up in your arteries, where it definitely doesn't belong. If you're not already enjoying leafy greens a few times a week, now is the perfect time to get started. You can salt them with a little olive oil and garlic for dinner, blend them into a smoothie in the morning, or stir them into a hearty soup. And remember, cooked greens are actually easier for your body to absorb, so don't be afraid to throw them on the stove. Now, as we age, something that becomes more and more important is how efficiently our body can absorb and use nutrients. That brings us to a food that surprises many people when we talk about bone health: fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These fish are rich in vitamin D and omega-3 fatty acids, both of which are crucial for maintaining strong bones. Vitamin D, of course, helps your body absorb calcium, and omega-3s reduce inflammation, which is important because chronic inflammation can interfere with your body's ability to build new bone. Sardines are particularly interesting. You might not have eaten them in years, or maybe you've never tried them. But did you know that canned sardines, especially the ones with the bones still in, are an excellent source of both calcium and vitamin D? Don't worry, the bones are so soft, you barely notice them. They almost melt in your mouth. A simple way to start is by mixing sardines into a light salad with lemon juice, olive oil, and some chopped red onion. Or try baked salmon with roasted vegetables for dinner. You're not only nourishing your bones, you're also protecting your heart, your brain, and your joints. And while we're talking about things that nourish the whole body, there's one more food that deserves the spotlight: eggs. Yep, plain old eggs, but specifically the yolk. That bright yellow center is loaded with vitamin D, protein, and other nutrients like choline, which help support muscle function and nerve communication. Strong muscles mean better balance, fewer falls, and less stress on your bones. Many people spend years avoiding eggs because of cholesterol fears, but more recent research has shown that eggs, when part of a balanced diet, are perfectly safe and actually quite beneficial, especially as we age. Scramble them for breakfast, boil a few for a quick snack, or poach them and serve over steamed spinach with a drizzle of olive oil. That's bone strengthening on a plate. It's amazing, isn't it? How some of the simplest, most familiar foods, the ones we often overlook, can have such a powerful impact on our strength and mobility. And the beauty of these foods is that they don't require a complete overhaul of your lifestyle. You're not being asked to become a different person. It's just about gently nudging your routine in a direction that supports your body in this season of life. So, next time you sit down to eat, ask yourself, is this meal working for me? Is it giving my bones what they need to keep me upright, independent, and active? Because every little choice adds up. One handful of almonds, one spoonful of chia, one serving of salmon. These aren't grand gestures. They're quiet acts of self-care that build on each other over time. And you deserve that care. Your body has carried you through decades of life. It's weathered storms, embraced joy, and done its best to serve you every day without complaint. Now's your chance to return the favor. Let's continue on this path of strength, wisdom, and nourishment, because our next food might just be the most comforting of all: beans and lentils. Yes, humble legumes, black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, lentils, they're more than just pantry staples. For seniors, they're quiet champions of bone health. You see, beans are rich in magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, and just as importantly, plant-based protein. All of these are key players in the bone-building process. Protein provides the framework, calcium strengthens it, and magnesium ensures the whole system works smoothly. But there's something else that makes beans special. They're also rich in fiber. And while fiber isn't often mentioned in bone health conversations, it plays a surprisingly supportive role. Why? Because a healthy gut helps your body absorb more nutrients, especially calcium and magnesium. And where does much of our immune system and nutrient processing begin? That's right, the gut. So when you nourish your gut with fiber-rich foods like lentils, black beans, or navy beans, you're also helping your bones, even if it doesn't feel that way at first bite. And here's the best part. Beans are incredibly versatile. You can add them to soups, stews, salads, or even blend them into dips like hummus. You can simmer a comforting pot of lentil soup on a chilly evening, or toss chickpeas into a crisp summer salad. It's affordable, it's filling, and it's working for you behind the scenes. Now, let's take a gentle turn from the earthiness of legumes to something a little more tart and refreshing. Have you ever thought of prunes as a bone food? I know, prunes have a bit of a reputation. They're usually brought up in conversations about digestion, not bones. But here's something surprising. Studies have shown that prunes, yes, dried plums, can actually prevent bone loss and even reverse it in older adults. How? Prunes are rich in polyphenols, which are powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation and help protect your bone cells from breaking down. They also contain boron, a trace mineral that helps your body use calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D more effectively. In one well-known study, postmenopausal women who ate just 5 to 6 prunes a day maintained better bone density than those who didn't, and that's no small thing when it comes to aging bones. So instead of thinking of prunes as a digestive aid, maybe start seeing them as a bone protector. Try blending a few into a smoothie, chopping them into oatmeal, or simply eating them as a naturally sweet afternoon snack. They're gentle on the body and kind to your bones. And finally, let's talk about a food that might already be sitting in your spice rack, one that's golden in color and powerful in impact: turmeric. Turmeric is well known for its anti-inflammatory effects, thanks to a compound called curcumin. And since chronic inflammation plays a major role in the breakdown of bone tissue, keeping inflammation low is critical, especially as we age. Now, turmeric isn't a direct source of calcium or vitamin D, but what it does is equally important. It creates a healthier environment in your body, one where bones can rebuild, joints can move with less pain, and the entire system can work with more ease. You can stir turmeric into soups, golden milk, or sprinkle it into rice dishes. For better absorption, try pairing it with black pepper. The piperine in pepper helps your body unlock the power of curcumin. And don't worry, you don't need to overdo it. A little bit, used consistently, is more powerful than you think. So now, let's step back for a moment and look at the full picture. You started this video wondering if your bones could truly get stronger even after 60. And the answer is yes, absolutely yes. But it doesn't happen with supplements alone. It doesn't come from just drinking milk or walking around the block once a week. True, lasting bone health comes from small, daily choices, from building meals with intention, from remembering that your body, even now, today, is capable of growth. Let's review what we've learned. Almonds and chia seeds quietly support your bones with magnesium and healthy fats. Leafy greens offer vitamin K, helping your body use calcium wisely. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines bring vitamin D and anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Eggs, with their rich yolks, deliver vital nutrients for muscle and bone connection. Beans and lentils fuel your body with protein, minerals, and gut-friendly fiber. Prunes surprise us by actively preventing bone loss and protecting bone cells. And turmeric offers powerful anti-inflammatory support to create a better healing environment. This isn't just a grocery list. It's a toolbox for strength, a foundation for movement, for balance, for independence. Because the stronger your bones are, the more confidently you can live the life you love, walking your grandchild to school, dancing at a wedding, or simply getting up in the morning without hesitation. You are not too old. Your bones are not too far gone. With the right nourishment, they are living tissue, still responsive, still capable of renewal. And every bite you take is a message to your body. I care. I'm still building. I'm still here. So go ahead. Make a small change today, even if it's just adding a handful of almonds or spooning turmeric into your soup. Your bones will thank you, not just now, but for years to come. Because aging isn't about slowing down, it's about building up from the inside out.